The chrome socket is small and cold. It is the kind of tool every mechanic loses twice. He held it. Does a tool remember the hand that died? Emilio Delgado was 31 years old. He worked in a shop off South Flores. The Texas heat was thick that afternoon. He went home early. He felt a rattle in his chest. The air in his apartment was very still. He walked to the bathroom mirror. He saw a stranger looking back. The socket fell first. The tile was cold. I couldn't get the air to go down my throat, and it felt like I was trying to swallow a handful of dry gravel from the driveway. My lungs they stopped taking orders. I'm sorry, I'm telling this wrong. I was just standing there by the sink, and I looked at my hands, and the grease under my fingernails looked like black ink. It didn't look like my skin. It looked like old wax. I try to breathe. Nothing happens. I'm reaching for the towel rack because the whole world is starting to tilt like a car coming off a bad jack. The metal is right there. I can see the reflection of the light bulb in the chrome, but when my fingers touch it, there's nothing to grab onto. It's like my hands are made of smoke. My chest is... Look, have you ever heard an engine when the timing belt snaps? That's what it felt like inside. Just a sudden, loud nothing. A total loss of power. I can hear my heart and it's not beating. It's just vibrating. It's a hum. It's a low electric hum that makes my teeth ache, and I can't make it stop. I look in the mirror. I don't know that guy. His eyes are sunken in and his skin is the color of a wet sidewalk. I want to tell him to wake up. I want to tell him to get off the floor, but I'm already on the floor. I don't remember falling. 1 second I'm looking at the chrome, and the next I'm staring at the grout between the tiles. It's dirty. I never noticed how dirty the floor was. I see a dead cockroach under the edge of the tub, and I think that's it. That's the last thing I'm ever going to see. A bug and some dust. Everything is getting dark around the edges. It's like someone is turning a dial. I'm trying to reach for my phone in my pocket, but my arm weighs 1,000 pounds and I can't even find my leg. I can't feel my legs. I can't feel the floor. I'm floating in the middle of the bathroom, but I know I'm still down there. I can see the back of my own head. I'm sorry. I need a second. This part, it's hard to get the words right. I'm looking at my body and it looks like a piece of machinery that someone just walked away from. It's just sitting there, no oil pressure, no heat, just a pile of clothes and skin on the tile. And I'm not scared. That's the weirdest part. I should be screaming, but I'm just looking at the dust bunnies under the radiator and thinking about how I never finished that brake job on the Chevy. The room is starting to pull away. The walls are stretching out like they're made of rubber, and the light from the overhead bulb is getting so bright it hurts, but I don't have eyes anymore to close. It's just a roar now. A sound like a freight train coming through the wall. And then the floor isn't there. Emilio describes his own death as a mechanical failure. He uses the language of his trade. It is a shield. He is barely holding the story together. He stops to apologize for his memory. He focuses on the dirt on the floor. Why does the mind choose a bug? It makes the account feel very heavy. The dark isn't empty. I thought it would be empty, but it's heavy, and it feels like I'm being dragged through a pipe that's too small for me. I can feel the pressure on my shoulders and my head. It's a grinding sound, like metal on metal. I can smell ozone and burnt wires. I'm moving so fast that I can't see anything, but I can feel the heat starting to build up. It's white heat. It's everywhere. I'm trying to scream, but I don't have a throat, and the sound just stays inside me like a vibration. I think I'm being torn apart. I think this is the end of everything, and then the pressure just drops. It just lets go. I'm standing in a place that looks like the shop, but it's not the shop. It's too big. The ceiling is so high you can't see the top, and there are these rows of workbenches that go on forever. And the light, it's not coming from a bulb. It's just coming out of the air. It's the color of a sunset, but it doesn't go down. It stays right there. I see these figures. They're short. They're moving fast between the benches, and they have these gray coveralls on. They look busy. They don't look like angels. They look like guys I'd see at the warehouse. One of them stops and looks right at me, and he has this wrench in his hand, a big one. He looks at me and he smiles. He doesn't say anything with his mouth, but I can hear him in my head. He's laughing. It's a nice laugh, like a guy who just pulled a prank on you. He says, "We didn't expect you yet. Your timing is all off. I'm looking at my hands now, and they're not smoke anymore. They're solid. But they're clean. I've never seen my hands this clean. All the oil is gone. All the scars from the slips with the screwdriver are gone. I'm there. I ask him where I am. I try to say it, but the words don't come out like words. They come out like a feeling of being lost. He just points toward the back of the room, toward this big set of doors that look like they're made of solid light. He says, go talk to the foreman. He's been waiting on the schematics. Schematics. He said schematics. I don't know what that means, but I start walking. My feet don't make a sound on the floor. It's not concrete. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like walking on a cloud's been packed down tight. I'm heading for those doors, and the roar of the train is gone. Now it's just quiet. The kind of quiet you get in San Antonio right before a massive storm hits. That heavy air, that feeling like the whole world is holding its breath. I get to the doors, and they dissolve. Sudden cardiac death often happens in total silence. The victim usually has no time to react. Most deaths like this occur at home. They happen in bathrooms or bedrooms. Emilio was 31 years old. That is young for a total failure. The internal hum he describes is documented. It is a sensory crossover during brain hypoxia. It feels like electricity. He's standing there behind this table that looks like it's made of rain. I don't know how else to say it. It's solid, but it's moving. There's water running over the edges, but nothing is getting wet. And he's tall. So tall I have to crane my neck. I know who he is. I don't need anyone to tell me. It's the way he looks at me. It's like he's looking at a car he's been working on for years, and he finally got the engine to turn over. He's proud. He's so proud of me, and I haven't even done anything. I'm just a guy who fixes Toyotas. I want to drop to my knees, but the floor won't let me. It keeps me standing. He reaches out and he touches my shoulder. His hand is warm. It's warmer than the Texas sun, but it doesn't burn. It feels like when you're a kid and you've been outside in the cold and your mom puts a warm blanket over you. That weight, that perfect weight. He says my name, Emilio. He doesn't say it loud. It's a whisper that fills the whole universe. I try to look at his face, but it's like looking at the sun through a welding mask. I can see the shape of him. I can see his hair and his eyes, but the light is just, it's too much. It's beautiful. I'm sorry. I'm using that word, but it's the only one I have. It's like every sunrise I've ever seen all put together into one person. I say, I'm not done. I didn't finish. I'm thinking about the shop. I'm thinking about my brother. I'm thinking about all the things I never said because I was too busy or too tired. He just smiles. He leans in close and I can smell it now. It smells like rain on hot pavement. It smells like home. He says, Emilio, you think you're a mechanic. He laughs. It's the best sound I've ever heard. It sounds like a river. He says, you've been working on the wrong machines. I don't understand. I'm trying to grasp it, but it's like trying to hold water in my hands. The meaning keeps slipping through my fingers, and I'm there in the light. I look at him, and I realize I don't want to leave. I don't want to go back to the grease. I don't want to go back to the heat and the bills and the rattling chest. I want to stay in the rain room forever. I want to just stand there and let him look at me like that. But then he looks toward the wall. He shows me something. It's not a picture. It's a hole in the air. I see the bathroom. I see the cockroach. I see my body. It looks so small. It looks like a toy that's been stepped on. He says, look at the assembly. I see these threads, thousands of them. They're coming out of my body and they're connected to everything. They're connected to the guy at the gas station. They're connected to my neighbor's dog. They're connected to a woman I haven't even met yet. She's standing in a grocery store in a year that hasn't happened. I see the way my life, the way I move, it moves everything else, like gears. If I stay here, the gears stop. I look at him and I'm crying now, but I don't feel sad. I feel like I'm finally seeing how the engine actually works. The big one, the one that runs the whole world. I say, it's so complex. He just nods. He says, it's time to go back to work, Emilio. And then he pushes me. Not hard, just a little nudge, like he's sending a car down a ramp. And the white heat comes back. The roar comes back. I'm falling. I'm falling through the pipe again, and it's cold now. It's so cold my teeth are shattering and I can feel the grease coming back under my skin. I can feel the weight of the Texas afternoon. I can feel the tile. I open my eyes. The cockroach is still there. The light bulb is flickering. I'm screaming, but there's no sound. Just a gasp. I'm alone. I'm on the floor and I'm holding something. I look down at my hand. I'm holding the 10mm socket. It's still warm. I don't know the word for what I am now. I shouldn't have said I woke up yet because that makes it sound like it happened fast, and it didn't feel fast. It felt like it took 1,000 years to get through that bathroom wall. I'm sitting here now and my hands won't stop moving. I keep looking at the door. I'm sorry. I need to tell you about the pipe. I call it the pipe, but it wasn't a pipe. It was a vacuum. It was the sound of a shop vac, the size of a skyscraper, turning on right next to my ear. I'm lying there on the tile and I can see the dust under the tub, and then the dust starts to spin. It's not the wind. There isn't any wind in a closed bathroom in San Antonio in the middle of July. It's the air itself. The air is getting heavy, it's getting tight. It feels like I'm being packed into a crate that's 2 sizes too small for a human being. I feel my skin start to stretch. It's not like being pulled by your arms. It's like every single cell in my body is being unbolted from the one next to it. One by one. Pop, 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 like rivets coming out of an old frame. I can't breathe, but I don't need to breathe because I'm not a person anymore. I'm just a collection of parts that are being disassembled. It's the iron pull. I'm moving through the ceiling, but I don't see the attic. I don't see the roof. I just see this white heat. It's the color of a torch when you've got the oxygen turned all the way up. That blue-white center that can cut through a 1/2 inch of steel like it's butter. I'm inside that heat. I'm terrified. No, I'm not. My jaw is locked. I can't move my mouth. I'm just a passenger. The sound is the worst part. It's a grinding. Imagine taking a handful of ball bearings and throwing them into a blender. That's what's happening in my head. It's the sound of reality being chewed up. I can smell the ozone. It's sharp. It's like the air after a transformer blows out on the street. It tastes like copper on the back of my tongue. I'm looking back and I see my bathroom. It's getting smaller. It's like looking through the wrong end of a telescope. My body is just a gray shape on the floor. It looks like a discarded work shirt, just a heap of nothing, and then the light hits me. Emilio describes a sensory transition. Many people mention a loud noise. It's often a click or hum. Researchers call this the vibratory stage. It signals the shift in awareness. The smell of ozone is specific. It appears in several high-voltage accident accounts. It grounds the story in physics. The light doesn't have a source, and it's just there like it's the floor and the walls and the air all at the same time, but it's not blinding me. It's more like I'm finally seeing clearly for the first time in 31 years. My eyes, well, whatever I'm using to see, they don't have to blink. I'm just taking it all in. I land. I don't hit the ground hard. I just arrive. It's the machine shop. That's the only way I can describe it to you because I've spent my whole life in garages, and this place felt like the original version of every shop on earth. It's huge. It's so big that the horizon just curves upward until it disappears into the glow. There are these workbenches, rows and rows of them. They're made of something dark and heavy, not wood, not metal, something that feels like it's been there since before the dirt was made. And then I see the little guys. I call them the technicians. They're about 4 feet tall. They're wearing these gray coveralls that look exactly like the ones we get from the uniform service at the shop, but they don't have any grease on them. They're moving so fast, they're almost a blur. They're not flying, they're just busy. They're leaning over these benches and they're working on things that look like, well, they look like clocks, but the gears aren't metal. The gears are made of light. And they're not just spinning, they're singing. Every time a gear turns, it makes a note, a low vibrating note that I can feel in my chest. I'm standing there in my bare feet, I'm wearing my work pants, I'm wearing my stained t-shirt. I feel like a mess. I feel like a guy who just walked into a clean room with mud on his boots. One of the technicians stops. He's standing at a bench about 10 feet away. He turns his head and he has these big dark eyes. They're not scary. They're like the eyes of a dog that's really happy to see you. He looks at me and he starts to giggle. It's a high clicking sound, like a ratchet. He says, Look at this one. He still thinks he's an engine. The other ones at the benches nearby stop. They all look at me. They're not judging me. They're just amused. Like they've seen this a million times and it's still funny every single time. I try to ask what they're doing. I point at the light gears. The first one leans back and wipes his hands on a rag that isn't there. He says, "We're keeping the timing right, Emilio. You wouldn't believe how much maintenance you people need." He says it like a joke. Like he's talking about a car that keeps coming back with the same check engine light. I'm looking at the gears on his bench. I realize they're not clocks, they're lives. I can see images in the light. I see a kid riding a bike. I see an old man sitting on a porch. I see a dog chasing a ball. Every time the gear clicks, the image shifts. They're literally timing out the world. I reach out to touch one. I just want to feel the vibration. The technician moves so fast I don't even see him move. He's right there. He taps my hand with a wrench. It's cold. It's the coldest thing I've ever felt. He says, "Not that one. That one's still in the assembly phase. You'll break the calibration." I pull my hand back. My fingers are tingling. I ask him if I'm dead. He looks at the other technicians and they all start laughing. It's not mean. It's like a bunch of guys at lunch laughing at the new apprentice. He says, "Dead? No, you're just in the shop for a quick tune-up. The foreman wants to see you." He points. Down the row of benches, there's this clearing. The light there is different. It's not orange-white, it's gold. And standing in the middle of it is the tallest person I've ever seen. Dr. Sam Parnia led the AWARE study. It was at NYU Langone Health. He looked at cardiac arrest survivors. Many patients reported being able to see their own bodies. They described specific events in the room. Some mentioned a presence that felt like a guide. These weren't hallucinations. They happened when the brain had no measurable activity. Emilio's technicians fit a known archetype. It's the helpful observer. I'm walking toward the gold light and my legs feel like they're made of lead, but also like they're not there at all. I keep looking back at the technicians. They've already gone back to work. They don't care about me anymore. I'm just a job that's been handed off to the next station. The gold light is getting warmer. I can feel it on my face. It feels like the heat from a furnace when you open the door. But it doesn't singe my eyebrows. It just pushes against me. I stop at the edge of the light. The tall figure is leaning over a table. He's big. I mean, he's like 7 feet tall. He's wearing a robe that looks like it's made of the same stuff as the gears, just woven light. He doesn't look up at first. He's looking at these papers, but they're not papers. They're like maps. They're glowing blueprints that are moving and changing right there on the table. I see the map of San Antonio. I see the streets. I see the highway. I see the little dots of light moving along the 410. I see my shop. I see the pit where we change the oil. He finally looks up. It's him. It's Jesucristo. I know it's him because my heart it stops. Not like the heart attack. It stops because it doesn't need to beat anymore. I'm just complete. He doesn't have a beard like the pictures in the church. He just has this face that looks like it's made of everything kind that ever happened. He looks like my grandfather. He looks like my brother. He looks like everyone I've ever loved. He smiles at me and I can feel the vibration of it in my bones. He says, "Emilio, you're early. I can't speak. My throat is just a knot." He walks around the table and he's so graceful. He doesn't walk. He just flows. He puts his hand on my head and for a second, just a second, I see everything. I see the way the engine of the world is put together. I see the bolts and the belts and the fluid lines. I see how one person being kind to a stranger is like putting a drop of oil on a squeaky hinge. It makes the whole machine run better. And then he pulls his hand away. I'm back in the shop, the gold shop. I look at him and I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking. I say, "I don't know how to do this. I'm just a mechanic." He laughs. "It's the best sound. It's like a chrome tool hitting the floor, but in a way that sounds like music." He says, "That's exactly why you're here, Emilio. I need someone who knows how to fix things that are broken." He looks at the blueprints on the table. He says, "Your engine has a leak. We need to patch it before we send you back out." He reaches into the air and he pulls out a tool. It looks like a wrench, but it's made of the same rain light as the table. He says, "Hold still." And he reaches toward my chest. I'm sitting here now in my kitchen and I can still feel where his fingers touched me. It's a cold spot right over my heart. It never goes away. I keep checking my pulse, it's there. But it feels different. It feels like it's being timed by someone else. I'm looking at my hands, they're clean. I look. I don't know how to explain the next part. The room started to dissolve. I'm standing there and his hand is getting closer, and I can see the light reflecting off his fingernails, and they look like polished shells. I want to run, but my feet are glued to that rain table, and I'm shaking so hard, I think my teeth are gonna crack. It'll look like he's gonna hurt me. But when you see a tool that big coming at your chest, you don't think about love, you think about the impact. He touches the skin right over my sternum. It's not a cut, it's a reach. It's like his hand just goes through my t-shirt and my ribs like they're made of warm water. I feel this tugging, it's deep. It's right where the hum was. He pulls something out, it looks like a piece of black sludge. It's thick and it's heavy and it smells like old oil that's been sitting in a pan for 3 years. It's all the times I was mean to my mom. It's the money I took from the till that one time. It's every lie I ever told just to get through the day. He holds it up in the light. I'm looking at it and I feel so ashamed. I want to turn into dust. I want to just blow away and never be seen again because that stuff came out of me. That was my fuel. He just looks at it and he shakes his head. He's not mad. He looks like a guy looking at a clogged filter. He says, "You can't run on this, Emilio. It'll seize the whole thing up eventually." I try to speak. My voice is a wreck. I say, "I didn't know it was there. I thought I was doing okay." He tosses the black stuff into the air and it vanishes. It doesn't fall. It just stops being a thing. He says, "No one knows until they get to the shop. That's what the technicians are for. They track the friction." I look back at the little guys in the gray coveralls. One of them is watching us, and he's leaning on a broom that's made of sparks. He winks at me. He looks like he's seen a million guys get their filters cleaned, and he's just waiting for us to get out of the way so he can sweep up. Jesucristo leans back. He looks at me. His eyes are like looking into a deep well where the water is perfectly clear. He says, "We're going to give you a different grade of oil this time." I don't understand. I'm thinking about my truck. I'm thinking about the shop on South Flores. He says, "You have to pay attention to the rattle. When you feel it in your chest, that's not your heart failing. That's the signal that you're running dry." He reaches back to the table and he picks up a small vial. It's glowing. It's the same color as the gears the technicians were turning. He pours it into the spot where his hand went in. I can't describe the feeling. It's not heat. It's not cold. It's like being filled up with air after you've been underwater for a minute. My lungs expand, my shoulders drop. I didn't even know I'd been holding them up that high for 31 years. I look at him and I say, "Thank you." It's the only thing I can say. It feels small. It feels like a pebble in the middle of an ocean. He just chuckles. That sound, it makes the floor vibrate. He says, "Don't thank me yet. You still have to go back and drive it." Emilio calls the place a machine shop. The word machine comes from the Greek mechane. It means a tool or a trick. It was a way to do what seemed impossible. In the Middle Ages, it meant a structure, a fabric, the machine of the world. Emilio is using an ancient framework without knowing it. He sees the soul as a mechanism that needs maintenance. The little guys start moving closer now, and they're carrying these things that look like schematics. They're long rolls of light that they're spreading out on the rain table. I see names, I see dates, I see the name of the hospital where I was born, I see the name of the girl I liked in the 3rd grade. One of the technicians points to a spot on the map. It's a tiny house in a part of San Antonio I've never been to. He says, "You're going to be near there on a Tuesday, in 2 weeks. Don't miss the turn." I say, "What turn? What am I doing there?" The technician just looks at Jesucristo and they both start smiling. It's that inside joke again. They know something I don't, and it's driving me crazy. Jesucristo says, "You don't need to know the destination, Emilio. You just need to keep the engine clean. The road handles the rest." I'm looking at the map and it starts to blur. It's like water is being poured over it. I look at my hands. They're starting to get transparent. I can see the rain table through my palms. I panic. I reach out and I grab the edge of the table. It's solid. It's real. I say, "I'm not ready. I don't know how to keep it clean." I'm just a guy. Jesucristo leans over the table. He's so close I can see the reflection of the whole workshop in his eyes. He says, look at me. I look. I can't look away. He says, you're not just a guy. You're part of the assembly. If you're not there, the timing belt slips. Do you understand? I don't. Not really, but I nod because when he says it, I feel it in my bones. I feel like I have a job, a real one, not just fixing cars. He says, now go. The floor is getting cold, and he's right. I can feel it. The warmth is leaving my feet. The gold light is turning gray. I look at the technicians one last time. The one with the broom is waving. He shouts, see you at the next checkup. Don't let the oil get black again. And then the table dissolves. I'm falling. It's not the pipe this time. It's just a drop. Like the floor just turned into smoke and I'm plummeting back toward the world. I can see the lights of San Antonio below me. They look like the gears in the shop. They're all turning together. Thousands of little lights. I'm getting closer to the ground. I see my apartment building. I see the roof. I'm terrified. I think I'm gonna hit the roof and just shatter, but I don't hit the roof. I go through it. I'm back in the bathroom. I'm looking at the cockroach. I can feel the tile under my cheek. It's so cold. It's like ice. I try to move my fingers. Nothing. I try to blink. My eyes are stuck open. I'm just lying there and I can hear the refrigerator humming in the kitchen. It sounds so loud. It sounds like a scream compared to the music in the workshop. I'm back, but I'm not alone. Skeptics say the beings in NDEs are a brain's reaction to trauma. They believe the mind reaches for familiar faces to stay calm. But theologians argue these figures are objective realities. They point to the fact that children often see figures they have no name for. Emilio saw mechanics. He saw a foreman. Does the light change its shape to match the person, or is the workshop the thing that's actually there? I'm still lying there and I can't get my legs to work and I'm staring at the dust bunnies under the sink. I need to get up. I have a car in the shop that's half done. It's a silver Tacoma and the head gasket is sitting on the bench. I left it there. I left the bolts in a little magnetic tray. I keep thinking about those bolts. If I don't get back, someone else is going to lose them. They're going to mess up the sequence. I have to finish it. I try to push myself up and my arm just flops like a dead fish. I'm thinking about the technician, the one who told me not to miss the turn. I'm lying here on the floor and I'm thinking, I didn't even ask what the turn was. I was so busy looking at the light, I didn't ask for the directions. I'm a mechanic. I'm supposed to follow the manual. And I don't have the manual. I start to cry. The tears are hot on my face. They're the only warm thing in the room. I say his name. I don't say it out loud. I say it in the place where the hum used to be. Jesucristo, I say it and I feel a little spark. Just a tiny one. Right in the center of my chest. It feels like a battery that's finally taking a charge. I try again. I grab the edge of the bathtub. My fingernails scrape against the porcelain. It's a horrible sound. I pull. I get my knees under me. The room is spinning. The flickering light bulb is making me dizzy. I look in the mirror. My face is white. My eyes are bloodshot. I look like I've been dead for a week, but I'm breathing. I reach into my pocket. I feel the 10mm socket. It's not just a tool anymore. It's like a piece of the workshop that I got to keep. I have to get to the shop. I have to finish that Tacoma. I'm pulling myself up, and the porcelain of the tub feels like it's vibrating at a frequency that's trying to shake my teeth loose, and I keep seeing his face in the flickering of the bathroom bulb. It's not a memory. It's like he's still standing right there behind the rain table. I can still smell the wet concrete. I'm back in that room, the rain room. It's quiet, but it's a heavy quiet. It's the sound of a garage right after you turn the compressor off, and the air is just thick with the smell of work. He's standing there, and the light is coming off his skin in waves. He looks at me and he says, Emilio, you're looking at the wrong specs. I don't know what he means. I'm thinking about the head gasket. I'm thinking about how I forgot to torque the bolts on the number 4 cylinder. I say, I have to go back. My brother needs me at the shop. We've got 3 cars backed up and the landlord is coming for the rent on Friday. He laughs. It's a low sound. It's like a truck idling in the distance. He says, your brother is already taken care of. You're the one whose timing is off. He reaches out. He doesn't touch me this time. He just moves his hand through the air and the rain table shifts. The maps of San Antonio disappear. Now I see these lines. They're gold. They're silver. They're running everywhere. They're like a wiring harness for the whole world. I see how they connect to my chest. He says, every time you get angry, you fray a wire. Every time you hold on to that old hate for your father, you're shorting out the system. I feel a heat in my face. It's not the light, it's the shame. I say, he left us with nothing. He left me to fix everything. Jesucristo leans in. He's so tall he has to bend down to look me in the eye. He says, you're still trying to fix the old model, Emilio. That car is gone. It's been scrapped. Why are you still carrying the parts? I can't answer him. My throat is closed up tight. I feel like a kid who just got caught breaking something he can't afford to replace. I look at the wiring. I see a spot where the gold line is turning black. It's brittle. It looks like it's about to snap. I say, is that me? He nods. He says, you've been running on a lean mixture. Too much air, not enough heart. If you don't adjust the valves, the engine is going to blow. I look at my hands. They're still clean. They're still perfect. I say, I don't know how to change it. I don't have the right tools for this. He smiles. He reaches into the light and he pulls out a small, heavy object. It's the 10mm socket, but it's not metal. It's made of that same white heat. He says, you've had the tool the whole time. You just keep using it on the wrong bolts. I reach for it. My hand is shaking. He places it in my palm. It's heavy. It's so heavy it pulls my arm down. It feels like it weighs more than the whole world. He says, take this back. When you feel the rattle, look at the tool. I'm confused. I'm trying to make sense of it. I say, what do I do with it? Who do I tell? He shakes his head. He says, you don't tell anyone anything, Emilio. You just fix what's in front of you. One bolt at a time. The room starts to get dim. The sound of the rain gets louder. It's a roar now. I see the technicians again. They're standing in a circle around us. They're holding those glowing gears. They're all watching me. The first one, the one who teased me, he steps forward. He says, don't forget the turn on Tuesday, mechanic. The assembly is counting on you. I want to ask him what turn. I want to ask him where the house is. But Jesucristo puts his hand on my chest again. He says, go home, Emilio. The shop is opening soon, and then he pushes. In 1974, a man in Illinois reported a similar vision. He was a carpenter. He described a celestial construction site. He saw beings in white jumpsuits using light saws. They told him he was measuring the wrong boards. He spoke about a master builder who showed him a blueprint of his own life. Like Emilio, he used his trade to understand the divine. This is a recurring theme in NDE research. The vision adapts to the witness. The push feels like a wrecking ball hitting me in the ribs, and I'm flying backward through the dark, and the cold is coming back, and I can taste the grease again. It's bitter. It's like old coffee and iron. I'm falling through the roof. I'm falling through the ceiling. I hit the floor. The sound of my body hitting the tile is the loudest thing I've ever heard. It's a thud that echoes in my skull. I'm lying there and I can't move my legs, and my heart is doing this weird thing. It's not beating, it's just stumbling. I'm staring at the cockroach. It hasn't moved an inch. I realize I've only been gone for a second. The clock on the wall says it's still 4:15. I died. I went to the workshop. I met the foreman, and not even a minute has passed in San Antonio. I'm trying to breathe. The air feels like needles. It's so dry. It's so thin. I reach out my hand. I'm looking for the socket. I find it. It's sitting right there on the tile. It's just a regular chrome tool. It's not glowing. It's not heavy. It's not heavy, but when I touch it, I feel a spark. It's a vibration. It's that low note from the gears in the shop. I'm holding it, and I'm crying, and I'm laughing at the same time, and I must look like a lunatic. A dead man laughing at a piece of chrome on a dirty bathroom floor. I manage to roll over. My muscles are screaming. It feels like I've been in a car wreck. I pull myself up to the sink. I look in the mirror. My eyes are different. They're not sunken anymore. They're bright. They're too bright. It's like there's a light bulb that hasn't been turned off yet. I can smell it. I'm standing in my bathroom, and it smells like a wet sidewalk after a thunderstorm. It's so strong, it's making my head spin. There isn't a cloud in the sky outside, but the room is full of the smell of rain. I look at the socket in my hand. I think about the silver Tacoma. I think about the turn on Tuesday. I'm still shaking. I can't stop. I'm back in my body, but I don't fit anymore. It's like I'm wearing a suit that's too small. I can feel the edges of my soul rubbing against my skin. I have to get out of here. The Near-Death Experience Research Foundation has collected thousands of accounts. They notice a specific trend in survivors. People who experience these visions often have sensory crossovers afterward. They smell things that aren't there. They hear frequencies others can't. Some develop a sensitivity to electricity. Emilio's smell of rain is a documented after effect. It's called olfactory hallucination by doctors. But survivors call it a tether. It's a way to remember where they've been. I'm walking toward the door and I'm stumbling like I'm drunk, but I'm not drunk. I'm too light. My feet don't feel like they're hitting the carpet. I keep thinking I'm going to float up and hit the ceiling. I get to the kitchen and the smell of the rain is even stronger here. It's coming from the sink. It's coming from the walls. I look at the refrigerator. The hum. It's not just a hum anymore. I can hear the notes. I can hear the vibration of the motor, and it sounds like the technician's gears. It's making a song, a low clicking song that's perfectly in time with my heart. I'm standing in the middle of my kitchen and I'm listening to a fridge and I'm nodding my head because the timing is perfect. It's finally perfect. I look at the clock, 4:17. I have to call my brother. I reach for my phone, but my hand stops. I can feel the heat in my chest. It's a warning. I'm not supposed to call him, not yet. I look at the socket in my hand. I need to go to the shop, alone. I have to finish the Tacoma. I have to make sure the bolts are torqued exactly to the specs, because if I don't, the gear slips. I can still feel the foreman's hand on my shoulder, the weight of it. I'm sitting here now and I'm looking at the rain light on the wall. It's just the sun hitting the window, but I know better. I can still hear the water running over the edge of the table. It never stops. I can't get the keys into the ignition because my hand is shaking so hard it keeps hitting the steering column, and the metal on metal sound makes me want to throw up. I'm sitting in my truck and the San Antonio heat is already cooking the dashboard, but I'm freezing. I'm so cold I can see my breath. I know that's not possible. I know the thermometer says 98 degrees, but I'm shivering like I'm standing in a walk-in freezer. I'm thinking about the descent. Before I hit the floor, before the cockroach, there was this place that wasn't the shop, and it wasn't the room with the rain. It was just gray. It was a holding pen. It was like being a car that's been impounded and you're just sitting in the lot waiting for the paperwork to clear. I remember the feeling of being forgotten. It was lonely. It was a dismal, heavy gray that went on forever, and there was no sound of gears there. No music. Just a flat, dead silence that felt like lead in my ears. I think that's where you go when the engine truly dies and there's no one left to fix it. I'm staring at my hands on the wheel. They're still clean. I think about what the foreman showed me right before he pushed. I saw a garage. It wasn't the shop on South Flores. It was a new place. It had my name on the sign. Delgado's Custom. I saw myself standing there and I wasn't tired. I wasn't angry. I was holding a wrench and I was talking to a kid, showing him how to bleed the brakes. He told me, that's the assembly you walked away from. He didn't say I failed. He just showed me the part that was missing. It was the shop I never opened because I was too scared of the debt. I was too busy running on that black oil of being afraid. I realize now that the important things he said I had to do, they aren't grand. It's not like I'm supposed to save the world. I'm just supposed to finish the assembly. I finally get the truck to start. The engine catches, and it sounds different. I can hear every valve. I can hear the way the belt is rubbing against the tensioner. It's like the truck is talking to me. I drive. I don't go to the shop. I find myself driving toward that house the technician pointed to. It's Tuesday. I don't know how it's Tuesday. I thought it was Monday when I went home. I check the phone on the seat. July 14th, Tuesday. I lost a whole day. I turn the corner and I see it. It's a small yellow house with a sagging porch. There's an old woman standing near the curb. She's looking at her car. It's an old Ford, and the hood is up, and there's steam pouring out like a tea kettle. I pull over. My heart is doing that song again, that perfect, timed clicking. I get out of the truck. She looks at me, and she looks like she's about to cry. She's holding a grocery bag, and the bottom is wet. I don't say I'm a mechanic. I don't say I died 3 days ago and met the foreman. I just walk over and I look at the engine. It's a busted radiator hose. A simple fix. I reach into my pocket, I pull out the 10mm socket. Emilio describes a missing day. He died on a Monday. He woke up on a Tuesday. He doesn't question it. He accepts the dark escrow as a procedural delay. He describes his own life as a series of missed assemblies. It is a very grounded way to process a life review. He doesn't see sins. He sees bad maintenance. I'm sitting at my kitchen table now, and the sun is coming up over San Antonio, and it's hitting the grease stains on my sleeves. I went to the shop. I finished the Tacoma. I torqued the bolts. I did it all in a daze because the smell of the rain won't leave my nose. It's been 2 weeks since the bathroom floor. I haven't told my brother. I haven't told anyone. What am I supposed to say? Hey, I died and went to a cosmic machine shop where Jesucristo told me my timing was off. They'd lock me up. They'd think I had a stroke, but I know. I know because every time I pick up a tool, I feel that spark. I know because when I look at people in the grocery store, I see the gold threads coming out of them. I see how we're all bolted together. I saw a man shouting at his kid yesterday, and I almost stopped him. I wanted to tell him he was fraying the wires. I wanted to tell him he was ruining the assembly. But I stayed quiet. I just fixed the alternator on a Honda instead. I'm different now. I don't get mad at the traffic. I don't swear when a bolt snaps off in the block. I just take a breath and I wait for the hum. The hum is always there. It's the sound of the world running. I'm looking at the yellow house on my way to work every morning. I check the radiator on that Ford every few days when I see her out there. I don't charge her. I just do it. I'm still cold. I wear a flannel shirt under my coveralls even when it's 100 degrees in the shop. The guys laugh at me. They say I'm turning into an old man. I just smile. I'm thinking about the foreman. I'm thinking about the way he looked at me like I was a job well done. I have a lot of work left to do. I'm opening the shop next month. My own place. Delgado's. I don't have the money yet, but the doors keep opening. The parts keep arriving right when I need them. And it's like the technicians are still handling the logistics from the other side. I'm holding the 10mm socket right now. I keep it on a chain around my neck. It's got a little bit of grease on it now. It's starting to look like a regular tool again, but when the room gets quiet, I can still hear the water. I can still feel the nudge. I go to work. I come home. I wash the oil off my hands. I look at the cockroach. I never swept it up. It's still there under the tub. I leave it there to remind me. I'm just a part of the machine. I'm just keeping the timing right. I take my boots off. I lie down. I wait for the morning. Emilio Delgado stopped talking about the rain room. He stopped telling people about the smell of ozone. He went quiet about the tallest man he'd ever seen. He just started fixing cars differently. There is a specific detail he mentioned only once. He said that when he fixed the Ford for the woman on the curb, the bolts didn't feel like metal. They felt like they were made of something that couldn't break. He doesn't explain what that means. He just looks at his hands. He is still working at the shop off South Flores.